True crime allows us to explore the dark side in a safe way.
The parents of a pregnant Frederick woman and her 2 children has captured the nation's attention.
I see a lot of horrible stories where a husband kills his wife, but this one's different.
This house is not complete without anybody here.
Summer's parents say they believe someone took their daughter.
I hope that everyone can focus on what's important, which is finding Summer.
Personally, I think someone come up here and grabbed her and ran down the hill.
I think so
and
too.
Threw her in a car and drove as far away as they could from this area.
Remains matching Gabby's description have been found in Wyoming, and they are awaiting a positive ID.
The Petitos spent days not knowing where their daughter was and wondering why the laundries wouldn't help them find her. It's not helpful for anyone to spread rumors that don't even pertain to the case. Hello, and welcome. This is my channel, and I will state my opinion and feelings on my channel. If you disagree, that's fine. You can kindly and respectfully state why you agree or disagree in the comment section down below. If you do not state your opinion kindly and respectfully, or you resort to name calling, your comment will be deleted. There's absolutely no reason to be mean, hateful, or disrespectful. Please be nice and considerate of other people, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. It smothers me.
If there's any way you can find it in your heart to please release her. I mean, you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure.
It seems like forever ago that we first heard these interviews and began questioning the parents' involvement. Summer's now been gone for almost 5 months. Although so much has happened since Summer went missing, it feels like we are no closer to finding her than we were on day 1. Investigators have mentioned no findings or leads to the public. There is no evidence that Summer was ever abducted, but no evidence of foul play either. Law enforcement have named no suspects and no persons of interest, while stating that everyone is suspect and no one has been cleared. Sheriff Lawson mentioned that most of the tips that are coming in are from social media and has asked numerous times for people to stop spreading rumors. But since there is no real evidence one way or the other, the public made the parents, Don and Candus, suspect number 1 and number 2. Or vice versa.
She went downstairs, Mom, with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
Have mercy and then find a way of letting her go and we can get her back.
Please bring her back home.
Just let her come home, please.
We miss her so much. I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or out this yard. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her and lured her away from here, which they would come forward and explain themselves. Like they would come forward and say what she's saying.
From the very beginning, it wasn't hard to see that this family was less fortunate than most. We could see from Candus's Facebook and TikTok videos that for whatever reason, they probably lived in poverty. The condition of their home could be seen in the background, and Candus didn't always look like she was in the right state of mind to be taking proper care of her children. I believe this is one of the main reasons for people following and wanting to dig into this case. People believed that the children were neglected or abused, therefore the parents must be responsible for what happened to Summer. Internet sleuths did what they always do. They began searching for any dirt that they could possibly find on this family. They found criminal history and signs of past abuse. They found family and friends who were willing to share their experiences with this family, and trust me, none of it was good. What I am struggling to understand is the behavior that we're seeing on YouTube. Not just Don and Candus's behavior, but the behavior of creators and the YouTube community as a whole. Keep in mind that it was likely known from the very beginning that this was a dysfunctional and unhealthy family situation. That was the opinion of most everyone who saw Candus's post online and the very first initial interviews. So again, YouTubers did what they always do. They reached out to Don and Candus to try to get them to talk, which is fine. I'm not meaning anything negative towards anyone who did interview them. That's exactly what is expected. In the beginning, of course, everyone wants to hear what they have to say. But what has continued on YouTube for the past month or so is something entirely different. Even though we already suspected a not-so-good family dynamic, I don't believe anything would have prepared us for what we were about to see. For the past 140-some days, this is what Don and Candus have been doing.
I'm glad I get the chance to apologize to InfoSearch because they're awesome people. Some of these areas are so shady in every way, and like drug areas or whatever it is. Hold on, man.
Did he go anywhere from the job?
No.
Okay.
I don't really want to go there with any of that. I've been.
Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey.
They just took Donnie away.
Who did?
The police.
They did? How come?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me the reason why. And quit his cell phone. And they're beating him. They're beating Donnie up.
The cops? The cops are beating Donnie up? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh, they are.
Huh?
I don't think they are.
I'll bet you they do. I'll bet you
how they ended up doing that call the other day when they called his sister? Because we had just talked to them. But for them to get drunk enough to make that call with his sister they called me at 12:30 and they were cracking the up. They were so proud of themselves. First they said that the freaking mafia came and got them or whatever, the Mexican mafia, and then they told him that the cops were beating them up. All in the same phone call.
Love is only one subject, but love leads everywhere, touches everyone, and has many subjects on so many different topics like kindness, caring, peace, happiness, support. Since the abduction of my beautiful daughter,
I have a lot of questions about how this happened. How and why did Don and Candus decide that it was a good idea for them to show themselves on YouTube in the condition that they were in? How would them showing themselves on YouTube and answering the same questions over and over, giving the same answers over and over, how could that help in finding Summer? Do you really believe that they woke up one morning and said, let's join the YouTube world? Let's put ourselves out there and let the public criticize our every move. And let's show everyone that we are alcoholics and or on drugs. I don't believe they did. I believe they were convinced by others, by YouTube creators, to come on their channel. Some of these creators had talked to Don and Candus behind the scenes before they convinced them to come on their channel, which means they saw Don and Candus's crazy behavior, and they knew that they seemed to be in a drunkard state pretty much all the time. They knew that having Don on their channel in the state that he was in would be shocking and that people would be critical. Behind the scenes, they're probably telling Don that it's better for him to talk and answer questions and that somehow this will help him find his daughter, when really they know that this is just going to turn out to be disastrous. Have you ever seen the TV show Intervention? The families will tell them, just stay sober for one day and come to your daughter's birthday party. They can't do it, not even for one day. This reminds me of Don and Candus. They have an interview planned with someone, it's a big deal, the whole world will see it, and they just can't stay sober long enough to do it. It's sad. It's really, really sad. If they had people in their lives who really cared about them, they would say, to hell with YouTube, let's get you better. Let's get you sober so you can begin to put your life back together. YouTube's not the answer. Worrying about what other people think of you is not important. The only thing that should matter is getting sober. That's the first step in the right direction. It's no secret that Don and Candus have been having a hard time staying sober. What it's starting to feel like is exploitation. It feels like creators are exploiting this situation. What that means is they are treating them unfairly for the purpose of benefiting themselves. I realize that I've probably just pissed a lot of people off by saying that, but I'm really not trying to bash anyone. I really think that some just get caught up in it, and they maybe just haven't taken the time to stop and think about what they're doing. I truly believe that most people are completely unaware of the harm that they are doing until it is pointed out to them. Once they do become aware, whether they decide to change their behavior is on them. It seems like what's happening is people who believe that Don and Candus are guilty are being friendly with them. They're pretending to be their friends just to get an interview, just to get them to come on their channel. The creators know that everything they say or do will be picked apart, and they also know that Don and Candus aren't sober, but they're inviting them on their channels anyway. They're using the situation to benefit themselves. That is exploitation, plain and simple. Now, I don't know if these parents have done something to Summer. I don't know what to believe anymore. None of us really know what happened. But one recent event has caused me to once again question their guilt. Don was arrested this past weekend. He was arrested for a DUI, released, then arrested again in the courtroom for violating his probation, and then released again.
They made him get off his phone.
In the courtroom, Don asked for mercy. He said he had been trying to work on his house to get their other kids back, and that they were heartbroken over losing Summer, and the judge was quite lenient on him. They released him on his own recognizance, which is strange since most people usually do spend time in jail for that. The reason I found this so strange and shocking is because usually if someone is suspected of a crime, especially in the disappearance of a child, they would be looking for any excuse to lock him up. Don's never refused to talk to them before. He's always cooperated with police. This would have given them a chance to interrogate or negotiate with him. I feel like if they really suspected that he was guilty, they would have jumped at this opportunity. The fact that they didn't makes me think that they have evidence that makes them believe that he didn't do this. It seems like they feel sorry for him. Do they know that he's not guilty? Do they believe that Summer was abducted? I have so many questions, and I wish law enforcement could share more with us. The story of how Summer went missing seems heavily rehearsed by Don, Candus, and Grandis. It's not really a believable story. Police have even said that they can't prove Summer was abducted, but they can't prove that Don and Candus are guilty of anything either. What is going on? Was the abductor just so slick that he really took Summer without leaving a trace of anything behind? Has he outsmarted the police and the detectives? Or have Candace and Don outsmarted the police? Are they really that slick? Have they mastered in how to make people disappear? I don't know, guys. It just doesn't make sense.